If your Meyer lemon tree keeps dropping its leaves, refuses to flower, or just sits there looking sad in the corner, I promise you, it's almost never the plant's fault. Meyer lemons are one of the most rewarding fruit trees you can grow at home, but they're also a little dramatic. They'll tell you the second something's wrong. The good news? Every mistake people make with them comes down to a handful of things. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to fix each one and get your tree covered in fragrant blossoms and sweet, thin-skinned lemons. Let's get into it. First, a quick thing worth understanding, because it changes how you care for it. A Meyer lemon isn't a true lemon. It's a cross between a lemon and a mandarin orange, which is why the fruit is sweeter, less acidic, and has that deep golden, almost orange skin. That mandarin parentage also makes it more compact and better suited to growing in a pot than most citrus, which is exactly why it's the go-to lemon tree for patios, balconies, and sunny windowsills. But it also means it's a little more cold sensitive, so keep that in the back of your mind. Everything else flows from those two facts. It wants to be a container plant, and it does not want to be cold. Now, the single most important thing, the one that makes or breaks your tree: light. Meyer lemons are sun lovers. They want at least 6 hours of direct sunlight a day, and honestly, 8 or more is better. Outdoors in the warm months, give them the sunniest spot you've got. Indoors, that means your brightest south-facing window, right up against the glass. Here's the part people miss. If your tree is stretching out, growing long, leggy branches with big gaps between the leaves, that's not normal growth. That's your tree reaching for light it isn't getting. If you can't give it a bright enough window, especially through winter, a simple LED grow light for a few hours a day will completely change how it grows. Light is the difference between a tree that just survives and one that actually fruits. Next up is watering, and this is where most Meyer lemons get killed with kindness. Citrus hates wet feet. The trick is to water deeply, then let the top inch or two of soil dry out before you water again. Stick your finger in. If it's still damp near the surface, wait. When you do water, soak it until water runs out the bottom. Then let it drain completely. Never let the pot sit in a saucer full of water. Overwatering is the #1 cause of yellow leaves and root rot in these trees. But don't swing too far the other way either. If the soil goes bone dry for too long, especially when it's flowering, the tree will drop its blossoms and its leaves in protest. Consistency is what it's after. Deep drink, dry down, repeat. That watering only works if the soil underneath is right. Meyer lemons need a fast draining, slightly acidic mix. A bag of citrus or cactus potting mix is perfect, or a regular potting mix loosened up with some perlite. What you're avoiding is heavy, dense soil that holds water like a sponge, and the pot itself has to have drainage holes. No exceptions. Terracotta is a great choice because it breathes and lets excess moisture escape, which helps you avoid overwatering in the first place. Start with a pot that's just a size or two bigger than the root ball. Don't overpot into something huge. All that extra wet soil around the roots invites rot. Here's something a lot of new growers don't realize. Citrus in pots are heavy feeders, and they'll quietly starve without regular fertilizer. During the growing season, spring through summer, feed your Meyer lemon with a fertilizer made specifically for citrus. These are higher in nitrogen, and just as importantly, include the micronutrients citrus craves: magnesium, iron, and zinc. If you ever see leaves yellowing between green veins, that's usually a nutrient deficiency talking, and a proper citrus feed fixes it. Follow the timing on the label and ease off in fall and winter when growth naturally slows down. Real quick, if this is helping your citrus make sense, go ahead and subscribe, because we cover a different plant every week, and I'd hate for you to miss the next one. Okay, back to it. Because this next part is where cold weather comes in. Remember that mandarin parentage, making it cold sensitive. This is where it matters. Meyer lemons are happiest between roughly 50 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and they are not frost hardy. Once nights start dipping toward 50, it's time to bring your tree indoors for the winter. When you do, expect it to sulk for a week or two, and maybe drop a few leaves. That's just the shock of the move and the change in light, and it'll settle. Indoor winter air is also very dry, so set the pot on a tray of pebbles and water, or run a humidifier nearby. Dry indoor air is an open invitation to spider mites, which brings us to problems. Let's talk about actually getting lemons. The good news is Meyer lemons are self-fertile, so you only need one tree. Outdoors, bees and wind handle pollination for you. But indoors, there are no bees, so if your tree flowers inside, you play the bee. Take a small soft paintbrush or a cotton swab and gently dab from blossom to blossom, moving the pollen around. It takes 30 seconds, and it's the difference between flowers that fall off and flowers that set fruit. And be patient. Once a fruit sets, a Meyer lemon can take 6 to 9 months to fully ripen. Pruning is simpler than people fear. Meyer lemons don't need heavy pruning. Just tidy them up. Remove any dead or crossing branches and shape the tree lightly to keep it open and balanced. One thing to watch for: suckers. Those fast, thorny shoots that pop up from low on the trunk, below the graft. Snip those off whenever you see them, because they steal energy from the fruiting part of the tree. Now, the troubleshooting you came for. Leaves dropping? Usually it's stress from a big change, moving indoors, a cold draft, or inconsistent watering. Yellow leaves? Almost always overwatering or a nutrient shortage. Watch for pests too. Spider mites, scale, and aphids love citrus, especially indoors. Check the undersides of the leaves regularly and knock them back early with insecticidal soap before they take hold. Finally, the payoff. Harvest. A Meyer lemon is ripe when it turns a deep golden yellow, almost orange, and gives slightly when you squeeze it. Unlike a lot of fruit, they won't ripen much once picked, so let them finish on the tree. Then, just twist gently and enjoy the sweetest lemon you can grow. Give it light, water it right, keep it warm, and feed it through the season. Do that, and your Meyer lemon will reward you for years. Follow Plant Blueprint for more tips to keep your plants thriving.